Okay, hello everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for supporting the channel. Like, comment, and subscribe. We're going to start off here and then we're going to. I'm surprised it's not playing though. Hold on one second.
My name is Cassie Ventura.
Oh, okay. I know what I have to do. I have to cut the volume down and then play the video. Okay, so y'all can see the clip. What she's talking about is what you guys see in here. So like the video, come on in, like the video, subscribe to the page. Thanks for tuning in to Let's Talk About It Media 21. I hope everyone's having a good morning. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. There's a lot that's going on, and I've noticed something. Okay, we're going to get into what transpired yesterday, what transpired today, what's going to possibly happen. No court yesterday, no court today. And it's being alleged that someone had called in yesterday. Hold on one second. Hold on. Someone had called in regards to a juror yesterday, and I'm hoping they have a doctor's note because everyone knows you need proof of what you got going on. You need proof, okay? So there's a person that called in, and allegedly the partner called in that they won't be showing up to court. So I'm hoping they got proof, just to be on the safe side. And there's been a lot going on, and we've talked about that last Wednesday. A lot going on in regards to the courtroom sidebars. Thursday, courtroom stuff, sidebars, going to the back to communicate and talk. And then we had Kanye, and then we had other stuff. And so then Brandon Paul was supposed to hit the stand, I want to say Wednesday. Yeah, he was supposed to hit the stand. He was supposed to hit the stand Tuesday. We're really supposed to hit the stand Wednesday, but then that didn't happen because there was an illness from a juror. So then, what you guys need to know, I'm going to catch you up. So there's no court for Wednesday, delaying the man from testifying, Brandon Paul. And now there's going to be no court Thursday because of Juneteenth. And then we're allegedly hearing no partial court for Friday because allegedly one of the jurors has an event to go to. I'm going to be general to protect people and their family. So Friday, a short period of a time that Brandon's going to take the stand. Now, everybody's saying, who's Brandon? Who's Brandon? Brandon was the mule that worked with Diddy. So what we're realizing, and we need to get to this, and we're talking about Cassie for a brief moment, because are you guys realizing something that I'm realizing? How is it that this case is so focused on Diddy Cassie? Not Diddy, Stevie J, Young Miami, Diddy's friends. How is it so focused on Diddy and Cassie? Now, if you guys are just now coming in, like the video as you guys come in. Thanks for tuning in to Let's Talk About It Media 21. Now, if you're just now coming in, also, there's a video clip that dropped maybe last night or this morning, and they're talking about Cassie making comments to someone about a video they have of her and Diddy, and she's making certain comments. You guys have to realize on Monday, Tuesday, they showed the FOs between certain people. I don't know who the FOs, but there were sounds in the courtroom. And it's interesting now they're trying to drop things about Cassie. They're trying to divert from him, who's in jail, and they're trying to divert about Cassie, who leaked this video about Cassie's voice, because we had heard that Cassie had said that she had made unwelcoming comments to somebody and that she was going to take them out. I'm going to be general. But now we're hearing it. So now people are saying, oh, we're hearing the real Cassie. Oh, I didn't think Cassie could say stuff like that. I'm not going to play it because I'm not trying to get flagged. But have you guys noticed there's so many distractions, concerns in court, mistrial 3 weeks ago, mistrial requests 2 weeks ago, mistrial request last weekend. So there's constant distractions, concerns. Juror number 6 is gone. Now there's a juror that's sick. Okay, so now y'all saw the Cassie stuff. I hope y'all saw that. So let me go here because I need to do my disclaimer and all that other good stuff. So it's interesting how they making a lot of stuff about Diddy Cassie. Where's KK? You know what I'm saying? Where's Stevie J? Where's Young Miami? What's really going on? Where are his bodyguards? Okay, are y'all noticing a situationship? His house was raided. Yeah, they generally talked about some of the things they found. Then they were fussing about them not taking pictures properly, alleged, when they got there, when they left. There was questions about people taking the stand that said something about what they were supposed to do, what they did not do, and in the court they were like, well, I don't know, I wasn't there, I'm just here to report what allegedly happened. Well, why would you put the person on the stand? He should be the one that took the pictures. Or and isn't there supposed to be audio? I mean, isn't there supposed to be cameras that when they went in? And why didn't they show the video of when they went into the house? After they left the house, they took pictures of the alleged gate that got messed up. Yeah, so there's a lot going on, y'all, but I got to get through my disclaimer and I got to type it. I kind of wanted to show y'all that Cassie thing. Okay, so hold on one second. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. All comments are alleged, in our opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. So that's the big question. Why aren't certain people taking the stand, hitting the stand, testifying what they witnessed, what they saw? Okay, and then Diddy's a company, right? Where's his HR person in regards to the complaints? All the girlfriends should allegedly hit that stand. All of them. Why is it that Young Miami's not there? Why is it that alleged they're stating Gina is MIA? What's really going on? What? Okay, you guys have heard about the different lawsuits that was out there after he got arrested. And where's all the video party of him and his famous friends? What are we really talking about here? And then they were stating the sidebars Wednesday or Thursday. It was in regards to them trying to protect a famous person that's allegedly doing FOs, alleged, similar to this man. So many people are saying, we saw the parties, we saw the events. Why are people not seeing the video also about the recording? And allegedly, they didn't go into the basement. Why not? So, alleged. That's alleged. And if you did not go into the basement, how do you not know that there wasn't stuff that you should have been pulling from the basement? And then, check this out. Clock this T. Remember how many people were talking about the tunnels? And how certain celebrities' homes are connected? Just yesterday or the day before, one of the people that was with, what's his name? That one guy, the Playboy house. One of his girls has said, oh, just so y'all know, Diddy's house was not connected to the Playboy house. All of a sudden, you want to tell us that? All of a sudden, that comes out. Why? So certain stuff isn't adding up. Where's Stevie J? Where's Young Miami? Where's his bodyguards? Because if there was concerns about what was happening to these women, where's your HR department? Where's your financial person? Where's all these people? Why haven't they hit the stand? The mule is supposed to hit the stand and maybe one other person, and that's supposed to be it. If the case, and people need to be patient, this case is not over. It's not over. People are like, I don't see it. What's really going on? Uh, and like I said, he's innocent till proven guilty in a court of law. He's innocent till proven in a court of law. It's not for me to decide. But many people are side eyeing and questioning what's happening, what's going on, and what they're hearing and seeing. And remember, allege, go back. You got to realize, allegedly, Stevie J said he was at the Miami home. So why isn't Stevie J hitting the stand? Why isn't some of his best friends hitting the stand? What did y'all see this man do to Cassie? So you're bringing, I get it. It's their case. This is how they do things. They have a successful rate. But if Stevie J was in one of the homes that you raided, why aren't you questioning any of his friends, any of the bodyguards, any of the assistants, the drivers, the security? What did you see? What did you hear? I get that they're making the testimony about people that were injured, that allegedly had to carry substances. I get that. But allegedly the list was cut down, possibly because of so much distraction, and possibly because so much of the stuff is repetitive. We're hearing that a lot of the stuff is repetitive in regards to the court case. But where are all these people that should be, and a lot of us feel they should be taking the stands? Why aren't we talking more about these parties that he had? How can certain people go MIA for a certain court case? And why isn't KK taking the stand? If she was the one that these people were complaining to. Certain stuff, y'all, for me, isn't adding up. It's not adding up. And for some odd reason, there's so many distractions. They're trying to avoid that mule taking that stand. and we may get a lot of fluff stuff about Cassie over the next few days. They want to take the distraction away from him and put it on Cassie. That's why that video came out yesterday or the day before. Cassie's making comments, unwelcoming comments to somebody about releasing. But this is the biggest thing. He was also trying to release stuff too. Remember how it was stated that Diddy had asked Cassie's family for money because he was going to put it out? Cassie, why would you get back with a dude that's threatened to release something about you? Why would she get back with him? Because there was constant threats. If you don't come back, I'm not going to help you with your music. This won't be released. This project won't be released. And then alleged in court, they talked about the money, tracing of the money in regards to him threatening Cassie's family. If y'all don't pay me a certain amount of money, they did pay it. They paid it. And then they traced the money, that the money went back to her family within that same week. You put Cassie and her family through all that, and then you return the money, which is great. I'm glad that the family didn't have to, and it was a lien on their mortgage. Okay. But was there other people in regards to you making comments like that about? Was there other people that made comments like that? Where are the other girlfriends? Why are they just so pacific on just a few women? Interesting. Why are they trying to protect that alleged rapper from last week, Tuesday, Wednesday? Why are they trying to protect that person? I was about to say something. Why are they trying to protect that person? Where's his friends? And they had said some of his friends may be on the list to testify. That's what they're trying to use. I don't know a lot of court stuff, but certain stuff ain't adding up. A lot of concerns with the jurors. I would imagine that the judge is so frustrated. I would imagine the judge is probably very, very frustrated. Yeah, I would imagine that the judge is so frustrated because of all the distractions and stuff that's going on. Once that mule hits that stand, that's going to be interesting. They're talking about hotel cleanup expenses. What? We want to hear from the bodyguards. All these bodyguards doing these interviews And we want to hear from the most recent girlfriends after Cassie. Real talk. Okay. Jane Doe was Jane Doe was alleged getting her rent paid, still cared for him, possibly still would have been with him if he wouldn't have got arrested. But what about all the other women? There was probably other women. And then they're allegedly showing stuff from Cassie's phone. Y'all raided his house. And allegedly there's a phone that y'all had, and people are trying to say it was hidden. No, they got that phone when they allegedly, the day, because you got to remember, homes were raided. And then remember, the son had said y'all missed a crib. How y'all gonna miss a crib? Are y'all catching what a lot of people are talking about? There's holes in the story. There's holes in this case, and it's concerning. Why there's so many holes? We see as general people that there was events and parties saying, "Hey, the kids have to leave at a certain time." Allege. What about that? What about that? And where are his friends outside of Kanye? Okay, you guys, we're about to get to a video. I'm just questioning a lot about this case. If and then Diddy's team is trying to control so much stuff and constantly asking for a mistrial and constantly asking for him to get bail. Very interesting. Let's continue.
Sean P. Diddy Combs. A special agent returns to the stand to walk the jury through Combs' hotel records. But as CBS News legal reporter Katrina Kaufman reports, today started with discipline for both the defense and the prosecution. Take a look.
The judge reprimanded both parties this morning after information from a sealed proceeding ended up in an article. He says
a sealed proceeding, things ended up in an article. There should not be leaks either. There should not be leaks. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
that someone flagrantly violated the court's orders, and he's going to be investigating this. He also warned against any further violations. He said that he would put people on the stand and take away their phones if that happens. We're also hearing from a couple witnesses today, Special Agent Delisa Penland and...
Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 3 if you knew where you're watching from. Press 5 you've been here before, where you're watching from. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. Thanks for tuning in to Let's Talk About It Media 21. It's interesting. It's so much about Diddy, Cassie, and not about his HR person, KK, the drivers, the security guards. It's very interesting to me, and I'm side-eyeing stuff.
And Brendan Paul, a former assistant of Sean Combs. Paul has been given immunity for his testimony. He was actually arrested back in March of 2024 on a day when a couple of Combs' homes were raided, and he was originally charged with drug possession at the time. Those charges were later dropped. Delisa Penland has been showing the jury.
A lot of people are getting immunity, and people are side-eyeing that as well, because they're trying to protect their brands and their self as well. Let's continue. Fair use. A lot of them don't want to testify. They're not going to get immunity.
These bring together hotel records, different communications behind the scenes. This is all very important for the racketeering conspiracy charge that the government has brought against Sean Combs, because we're seeing how things were paid for, how those payments came out of accounts that were linked to Combs' company. We're also seeing communications between his employees, such as Christina Coram, his former chief of staff, who the government has identified as a co-conspirator in this case, security guards, assistants surrounding...
So Christina Coram is identified as what? Let's go back.
Conspirator in this case, security guards, assistants surrounding incidents like the Intercontinental Hotel, where we heard testimony about how a security officer was given $100,000 to turn over security footage of Sean Combs assaulting Cassie Ventura. So all of this is really helping the government to bring its case together, and the defense is now also cross-examining her and trying to poke holes in that testimony.
And remembering, the video got leaked, and he allegedly tried to pay for the video. Remember that? It's a lot about him and Cassie. But what about the other girlfriends? You can't tell me they didn't experience stuff. Very interesting. Very interesting. And then the video of Cassie is now being leaked of what she said to that person. Okay. Okay, let's go here. Fair use reaction clip.
Prosecutors are expected to...
has actually called out sick with vertigo. Prosecutors are expected to wrap up on Friday, which means that Diddy's defense could actually begin next week, and we could see this entire trial wrap up by the 4th of July. Also, People magazine reporting that Diddy is not going to take the stand and testify in his own defense. We're also expecting Brendan Paul to take the stand on Friday. This is a big deal. He's a former assistant of Combs who was actually arrested when Combs' homes were raided in both LA and Miami. He had drugs on him, and this could be a really powerful testimony for the prosecution. Now, Brendan Paul.
Hold on. Now they're saying he's not going to testify.
Was granted immunity to testify, which means as long as he tells the truth, he cannot be prosecuted. No court
Yesterday and today. I've said it before. Diddy's innocent till proven guilty in a court of law. It's up to a judge, jury to decide if there's any wrongdoing. It's just interesting because of Cassie's lawsuit, which was settled within what, a 24-hour period, 72-hour period. I think it was 24 or 48 hours, whatever. Her case was, she won the lawsuit against him. Now, mind you, she had told Diddy about her possibly trying to write a book or sue him, and he didn't. He was like, they was like, he didn't care. But then once she put it out, he settled it immediately. It's interesting how they're putting everything on the weight of him, Cassie, and some of the assistants. There's more people in this corporation, way more. And for them to chop down the list, it's interesting to me. Because we were getting sick of some of the repetitiveness, and they should have realized that too, of the testimonies, 2 days for each person. They don't need to be having people on the stand no more than 4 days, and you repetitively be asking them questions, and then they're trying to make the people that's hitting the stand look bad when he's the one that's in jail. This is the other thing that I was thinking about, you guys. You know, in regards to workplace conduct, there's always an HR person. I finally found out that KK had been working for Diddy for 8 years. 8. He was with Cassie for a very long time. So KK and Cassie was near each other maybe for about a good 2-year period, and then Cassie left in 2018. She broke up, started dating the trainer. But this is the interesting thing too, that we realized this court case and the people that was in his circle. Why is it that, okay, they're saying KK is a co-conspirator. Okay, cool. But why isn't she also hitting the stand? She don't want immunity. And then people are saying they may feel she may not testify and give them what they want. Well, we don't know what the questions is. She should still hit the stand. She should still hit the stand. Other girlfriends outside of Cassie should hit the stand. Why put the weight of his relationship, Cassie's relationship, and the weight of the assistants? Now, mind you, workplace conduct. There's always should be an HR person that complaints go to. There should either be a union that people go to, right? He was more so focused on the FOs than music and creating great music, it seems as if. KK worked for him for 8 years, and these women would complain too, and then at times assistants would speak up loudly so people can assist and help them. Having someone work 5 days, alleged, and them not have no sleep is a concern in itself. Not to have his HR person up there, or if they had a union, that in itself is also concerning, because that would show, right? Workplace conduct, that would show the complaints of all the people. I didn't hear anybody from his HR or anybody say, yes, this person complained. Yes, Cassie complained to me 3 to 4 times a month. Well, what did she complain to you about? Okay, so if they have a union, so, did people go to the union and complain? It's very interesting that a lot of these people had fear in their heart. They couldn't go to the police. They didn't go to a hospital, some of them. There's not a really big trail. So that in itself is a concern. This man is a huge corporation. He has businesses after businesses after businesses after businesses. And since he does have many businesses, did he have issues with some of his business partners? So none of his business partners are going to take the stand either? Interesting. And there's so many distractions? Interesting. And the juror. If the juror, good morning, thanks for being here, everyone. If the juror was sick, aren't you guys asking these jurors what their medical issues are? They're not asking any jurors what their medical situations are. So you guys didn't know this man allegedly had vertigo? Vertigo is a serious situation. And then a lot of people are reporting. Some of the reporters weren't really out there like normal, like yesterday. So did the person know about the vertigo on Tuesday, knew he wasn't going to be there on Wednesday, and the reporters knew? They said it was so light about reporters being out there yesterday, but we didn't hear about the court case not moving forward yesterday till what? 9:30, maybe 8. So why wasn't the press out there a lot yesterday? That's very interesting. Why wasn't the press full blown out there yesterday? Because remember, Brandon Paul was supposed to speak yesterday. So maybe the person that didn't feel well, maybe they called Tuesday night saying he's not feeling well, he won't be there. So I'm hoping he's got a doctor's note, because that judge is not playing with these jurors. And then allegedly, a person was getting a message, and people are asking him or them, whoever, if they're a part of the jury. People are not supposed to know who these jurors are. So there's so much stuff going on. People, and I'm updating you guys because I'm hearing it from different sources about the reporters not being there yesterday. I'm hearing it from a lot of people that there's concerns in regards to what Cassie said, what Mia said, what happened in regards to the balcony. They were supposed to be in an event. There's so much stuff that's going on. And then yesterday, it was interesting. The day before, Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday. Because I don't think a lot of people were there yesterday. But, a lot of distractions in regards to people being outside to get into the courtroom, because people were trying to drop dimes that will Kanye show up. So let's get to another video clip, and I think Kanye was not planning on him. That might have been a distraction too. Will he show up again? And, people that's standing outside that's trying to get into the courtroom, they want to be able to see Kanye's face. And was there information leaked, possibly, that Kanye's trying to get on the family list so he can connect eyes with Diddy? Okay, so we're about to get into some more court stuff. I'm sorry, y'all. There's a lot going on, and I see stuff different, and I evaluate stuff different. My page is a little different. I side-eye stuff. I debunk stuff. That's what we do over here.
And Chris, some of the credit card charges for damages. The jury in the Sean Combs sex trafficking trial has now been hearing testimony about invoices, credit card statements. We have our senior legal analyst, Chris Tritico, here at Fox 26 Houston to talk about the latest testimony. And Chris, some of the credit card charges for damages at the hotel rooms during these freak-off sessions will absolutely shock you.
Well, so you've got a credit card bill that includes over $40,000 of damage to one hotel room. Now that's more money than some of these jurors are going to make in a year, was damage to one hotel room. But that is part of a single month of $944,000 credit card bill. That's more money than 99% of the people in the country make in a year. And so that evidence.
Okay, that's cool. They want to talk about the credit card bill. But what does Stevie J see? What does Stevie J hear? If Stevie J was in one of the houses, why isn't Stevie J taking the stand? Okay, let's talk about the credit card bills. But where's Young Miami? Where's Stevie J? Where's this other girlfriend that's supposed to be alleged testifying, and she's MIA? And they're focusing on charges to a credit card bill. Okay, because they're trying to say he's a corporation booking these hotels for these FOs. But let's continue.
And the government knows this, and the defense knows this. That evidence is likely to be offensive. That living style, that extravagant living style, is going to be offensive to most of those jurors.
And so his assistant has been on the stand and testifying about this. Does this tie into the racketeering charge or the sex trafficking charge?
Well, both, because it's all part and parcel of the same thing. And so what they're showing by this is that they were using his company to hide the payments to fix these hotel rooms and pay the hotels for the charges. And the credit card bill, I didn't understand exactly, but the credit card bill was so high they had to use 4 or 5 companies to pay that single credit card bill.
Wow, $944,000 a month credit card.
Okay, you guys, I'm gonna cut this video short because I have something I have to take care of. I've been not going for the last several weeks to make our videos, but I will probably try and come back. But I appreciate you all for being here. Thanks for tuning in to Let's Talk About It Media 21. Like, comment, and subscribe. Focus on healthy, safe relationships. Be around people that's loving, kind, and respectful. People are wondering why this court case is going the way it's going, how it's being directed. Remember, you have to remember, Diddy's son has said allegedly they missed a house. Why would you miss a house if there was a proper raid? But here nor there, y'all, I'm side-eyeing a lot of stuff in regards to this court case. And where are the famous people? And why are they working so hard not to name some of these famous people? Let's talk about it in the chat. For the replay game, subscribe. There's about 300 and something in the building. Please subscribe. We are trying to hit 39K before the end of the month. Please subscribe. We're trying to hit 39K before the end of the month. Thanks for being here, everyone. Goodbye. Focus on healthy, safe relationships. Be around people that's loving, kind, and respectful. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. All comments are alleged, in our opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. And they were saying that the judge was really frustrated this week when allegedly that article got leaked, and he's allegedly doing an investigation. There's other stuff that happened in the courtroom, but I'm gonna let other people talk about it, and then I'll go more deep into it. There's a lot going on in regards to in the courthouse, outside the courthouse, a lot going on. Side-eyeing certain stuff, y'all. I don't know, and they're constantly requesting a mistrial. And if there's a juror that's sick, that's delaying a person from testifying. Like, comment. Goodbye, everyone. Be blessed.